Uh,
Good evening, sir.
yeah, we have a very poor connection today. You guys can hear. I'm not audible. If you just give me a thumbs up if possible, anyone. If you are able yes. Well, okay. Yeah. So we have few participants. So this particular session is about mostly be about the assessing. Sorry, not assessing, casing. Right? So here, when you talk about casing, in your mind there are few things which come that I can do something in the client side. Client side, whenever let's say some data needs to be uh, called multiple times, you will store it for certain amount of timeline, maybe let's say 10 second, 20 second, 1 day. You store something. So this is what you think of whenever you talk about caching. So is this a correct analogy to build where you talk about a client having some data cached, or is it something different, not about only the client, or is it about the server mode, right? So we'll discuss that particular point and try to understand how our data can be cached and can be stored somewhere so that we don't have to fetch multiple times from our database, right? So this is what we will be discussing uh, in this particular session, because in our course we have a library called Redis, or library, or you can call it maybe some kind of database as well. Uh, that's why we'll be discussing about something about Redis, and then after that, if we are using, because from Mad 1 you might have already know that we are using Flask. So is there something similar, just like we did for SQL alchemy, just like we did for APIs? Is there something similar for Redis as well? Okay, so we'll talk about that. As you know, whenever I take a session, hopefully you know, whenever I take a session, uh, most of the time I will be using a GitHub repo, and there we'll have some content and we'll discuss around it. Yeah. So I have shared that link already in the chat. If you can go there and try to check that particular repo there. So this is a week 11 content, and where we'll be discussing about a Flask caching with Redis. This is the name what I've given. So this particular name itself defines how the class going to be, right? So whenever we say Flask caching, that means there is something, some library coming from the Flask side, and then we'll be using from that caching part, we'll be using Redis. So this is what we will be doing. Uh, I'll share my screen and we can start off. Before that, I'll take a one particular minute so that I'll be ready with my VS Code as well. Okay, I'll share my screen and we can start off. Okay, good. So as I said, we'll be going to this particular repo and we'll talk about caching. Uh, as I have written as a heading, it says complete beginner's guide for class caching with Redis. Uh, why I have written this particular line here is if you understand this particular thing, let's say this particular uh, this repo itself, you will be able to explain or you can use this particular caching part in your project. So mat2 project, whenever you are doing, I guess I have seen few names already, so I believe uh, few of them have submitted already, hopefully. So if you read through these things, at least you will be able to either use it in your mat2 project directly, or you can just explain the stuff whatever you have used. So this will be a helpful guide, so for say for your project itself, and also in terms of end same your end same quiz also, it might be a little bit helpful. Maybe one question you will be able to answer. One second. Okay. Okay. So first of all, well, as I said, there is something called caching. You already know about it. The caching is particularly a kind of storage which you do in let's say in either in the client side or it can be done in the server side. Mostly when we talk about Redis, it is done in the server side. Okay, what do you mean by server side first of all? So when I say server side, that means whenever your route is working in your app, uh, you can have a decorator which can store some data for you. So it can be stored in RAM mostly. So let's say if I'm using this particular system, so this laptop, the data will be stored in my RAM. So Redis is a RAM based database, you can understand. Okay. So when I say database also, you should be having a question that is it the same thing just like SQL? Uh, Somewhat, but it is not exactly a relational database. Okay, so you should be asking why it is not a relational database. Uh, the answer would be it stores some data, but it stores in a key value pair. Okay, so it stores in a key value pair. That means it it will be a database, but it can look like a JSON formatted data, something like that. Okay, but not a row column based database storage. Okay, so this should be clear. So whenever I'm storing some data, it will be stored in RAM, and because it is stored in a key value pair, it is very easy for you to fetch it directly and fetch it faster, right? So it will be a easier job for you because RAM will be processing all the time whenever your server is running, right? So something like that. Okay, let's say if you deploy your app, so you should be having a question that you are saying RAM will be used. When I'm deploying, what RAM should I use? Right. So then you will be using a cloud-based something, right? So you must be deploying in a cloud-based environment. There, that particular database can be used. Whatever is the fastest, it will be using that. Okay. So till now, what we have just understood that Redis is something which can be assumed as a database. It should be storing some data in the RAM side, not in the ROM side, or not creating a particular file for database where we talk about column and row, that is relational databases. It is a key value pair database, which we can use inside a RAM. So this is what we have understood till now. So the next question is, when we are already working with SQL, that means we have some data, we can store some data. Why we have to cache something? So this would be the valid question. Sometimes what happens is, let's say, let's take an example here. Uh, you are, let's say, so if you are from, let's say, MP board or state board or any kind of boarding school or whatever, school mostly. So you go to a website and check your results, right? So what can happen? Let's assume that all your result is in one page. Okay, all the people. So there is a merit list where you have all the results in one particular page. Okay, so what can happen is, let's say 10,000 students were there in your full board. Okay, so board, particularly state board, something like that, or CBSE board, any board, right? So you have 10,000 students. Now that particular page will be visible for all 10,000, or let's say more than that, more than people will be hitting that particular year for a particular second maybe. So let's say if 3 p.m. is the timing where we have to check the result. So when you click on a button, that means 10,000 clicks are happening. And if this 10,000 clicks will happen to the database, it can be a possibility that your database might crash. So you are querying for a particular data simultaneously in one particular second. So that might crash your database. So what we can do is, let's say you hit that URL for the first time. So okay, let's assume 10,000 requests has been made. Now I will store that particular data. Okay, so I will store that particular data, and let's say if somebody refreshes that page for multiple times. Now, the data which is shown to the particular user, 10,000 user, anyone, it will be shown based on the cached particular data. So, whatever data might have come, now it is cached. Okay. It is not coming and not directly fetched by a database. It will be given by a Redis kind of database where it is just giving you a cached data. Okay. Is it clear till now whatever I've said? Anyone, if you have any doubt till now, whatever I've said, is it clear?
So, sir, caching things that store that is stored in our whatever we are using, like Chrome or Firefox. So when we are doing again, like I have searched perfect city. So
Hmm.
when I again search, then it gets so fast. So that one actually the system of caching, isn't it, sir?
Yes, correct, correct. So you are absolutely right, because see what happens is, when you take that particular first data, it takes a little time, it gives you that data, and then whenever you refreshes, so I set a time limit. Let's say I set a time limit for 1 day. Okay, so now because that data might not change, so your result might not change now, so it will show the cached version of your data. So it will be cached, and whatever the server is returning, it is a cached formatting. It is not directly going to database and checking for it. So it is faster than the normal uh, first database call. So this is whatever you said is correct. Absolutely right. Okay, so hope this example was little clearer. So I'm not assuming that you will know everything in one go, but yeah, hope some example you might have already think of right now. So which website gives you a cache data, you might think, right? So let's say, let me give you one example. Let's say you go to any website which has, let's say, uh, let's search for something, cache. So if I search for cache, so this kind of websites cache the data. So it will, this is a static page, it won't change anymore, right? So it will cache it for me, and whenever I refresh it, it might not take any more movement than the usual, right? So when I came for the first time, it takes a little time, and whenever I refreshes, so it doesn't take much. So it is now cached in my system, or so in the server side, and it will show me that particular result. So because it is not changing, here cache can work, if you have understood. Right? So this is a cached version of the data. It won't fetch from the database again for this static website, static page. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So
Sir,
if there is,
sir, I had a doubt. So you're saying static page. So for a dynamic page like an Amazon page or something like that, in that case it won't get cached, right?
It shouldn't. It should not, because let's say if there is a sale, okay. Uh, Amazon has a sale which has, let's say, 10 products. So they have. I'm just, this is a assumption, okay. So 10 product they have. If I book two product, you book two product, it should reflect in that particular page, right? Otherwise, if I just see 10 pages there, it would be not a good idea, right? So if I just see 10 pages and I go to booking, all the 10 are lost, right? Everybody has booked it. So something which is, let's say, live in a sense of sale or something, it should not be cached. So the cached thing can be, maybe. So let's go to Amazon maybe. Um, so if I go to this particular website, so cached will be this particular data, maybe, right? So this thing, this whatever doesn't change, this will be stayed there. And these images, if they are, let's say, if they want to change it, it can change. So this shouldn't be cached, this particular thing. Uh, Also, let's try to see a buy page. So this will be a static image. This won't change, right? So I can cache that, right? So this is a cached version.
Got it, sir. So anything with dynamic content will not, ideally should not be cached.
Yes, correct. So whenever there is a change or something, I'm not able to. Yeah, they are asking for the account, but yeah. So let's say if I try to buy something and there is some count written over there, it shouldn't be cached. Otherwise, it will be a difficult place to be in the word. Okay. Uh, Okay, so this is one of the thing which is cached. Okay, now let's come back. I have written a question. Why do we need caching? Let's read it. Hopefully, we have got an idea why we have to use. The example what I've taken is, imagine a Flask route that fetches a large amount of data from a database, assume a SQL database, and does a heavy calculation. Okay, so understood. And then if 100 user request that route at the same time, so without caching, what will happen? Flask has to recompute that particular thing. So let's say 2 plus 3 is there. It is a very simple one, but yeah, anyway. So 2 plus 3, it has to do 2 plus 3 100 times, right? So let's say if it is cached one. So if I have written a decorator called at the rate cache.cache, now it will just show me the result of it. It will be stored for, let's say, uh, 10 minutes. I've stored for it. So for 10 minutes, it can store the particular result. So let's say 2 plus 3 is 5. So 5 will be stored. Now, whatever the for the first time, it will ask for the calculation. But after that, it will just give you the result of the cached version. So this is what you have for 10 minutes if you set a time. Okay. Uh, Hopefully, you have got the crux of it. Let's go ahead, and I've written this the solution uh, for without. Okay. I would have been careful. I've written the heading or solution. I should change it. Anyways. Okay. We will, the solution is without care for without caching. We will use Redis as our cache store. Okay. So as I've talked about Redis, so we'll be using Flask caching, but the database which we are using is Redis, Redis cache. Okay. So because it is fast, in-memory key value database. Okay. So this is the main thing. The other thing is use Flask caching to integrate Redis to Flask. Because till this point you were using Flask, and we have some libraries which can connect the other libraries to the Flask. So we'll be using Flask caching. Okay. So so two basic libraries, two basic routes which you'll be using is, first one is cached and the other one is memoized. What cached do is, it it stores everything in one. So let's say if you have a route called home, whatever data you might have in this return of home, it will be stored using cache. So it will be a one key, and every other detail of that particular return statement will be stored in that key. Okay, so it will be a value file. And the other we will talk about this later uh, with the code. Now we also have memoize. So memoize will be used in a manner where you are having multiple things to store. So let's say you have name. Okay, so you have name Rahul, Karan, or something like that. If you have to store specific data about Rahul and Karan, you can use memoize. So your key will be Rahul, and then the whatever value you will be storing. So let's say age or something. So it will be stored for Rahul. So key is Rahul, and the value is about its age. And then after that, Karan, and then age. Meanwhile, if you do in cached, it won't be like that. It will be like home, and then Rahul age, Karan age, whatever. So it will be stored in one key value pair, something like that. So these are the different. So if you have any argument in passed in a particular route, then you should be using memoize. And if you don't have much argument, you can directly store the data. You can use cast. Okay. Hopefully you have got the context. Let's continue with this. Okay. I believe you can install this right now. So pip install Flask. If you already have, no need to install Flask. Then Flask caching and Redis. Try to install it right now so that you can uh, side by side code along with me also. Okay. So try to install it. Open your VS Code and try to install. I'll just install it again for you guys. So I'll just cd into I have app dev tool, and then we okay. So I'll just do this because it has been already installed. So it is saying requirement already satisfied. And yeah, three things you have to install. It install Flask caching, and Redis. So I guess the Redis has some new version. It has installed that. Okay. Mm, nice. Good. Thanks for telling. Yeah. So I was about to come to that point. So you can see Redis I've installed it, but will it work? Not sure. Let's come back here. What I said in the next line, Windows user, you might not be able to install Redis of the latest version. You can install it. Yes, obviously you can install it, but will it work? Not sure enough, right? So it is not there in Redis, the newer version. So you have to use WSL. Okay, WSL if you are using Windows. For Linux users, you can just do sudo apt install. First of all, you can update if you want, but anyways, if you don't want to update, you can just go ahead with sudo apt install Redis server. If you are using Mac OS, this is the command. You can try out and uh, run this. Okay, so let's do one thing. I will be using WSL. So if I click on this button, I have one version of it. So I'm using Ubuntu 22. You can use any of them. Yeah, let's wait for it to start. Okay, so command cd So I've installed it again. Oh, okay. No, no. Yes. Sometimes you will see something like this. What is the command to stop it? So when you go to Redis or restarting or stopping your Redis server, okay, it is running. Okay, so you are checking. Then after that, you can try to do this shutdown. Hopefully it does. And then let's try to see if it is still. So it is still saying address already in use. Okay, even though I've written Redis still I shutdown. Anyway, so let's try to use another command. And this is the command you might be using. So sudo systemctl and then stop it. I don't remember my date. I remember. So let's do that again. So it stopped, and this should be the first thing you should be seeing. I want you all to do this because it might be a difficulty if you are doing it alone. If you all have just followed me, try to do it. If you're done, please tell me. Just facing any issue, tell me as well. Done? All of you are doing it or no? Are you free? Yes. Okay. Hope you guys have done. Okay. Nice. So this is what you can see. Two or three things you should be seeing here. So you have something called PID here, and also you have port here. So this you can see, right? By default, your Redis uses a port that is sorry, 6379. So you will be using this port for storing some data. Okay, something similar to your Flask app. You have 5,000 port. So you store some data. So for storing some data, you have to completely, so you have to run this particular Redis server and then it will do the task. So this is your port number which you'll be using. So you should remember this. Now, PID can help you sometimes. So there is one more command which you might be interested in. So these are the thing where you can check the status of Redis. This is the older system command. And yeah, so this is whenever you have, let's say, PID, you can also use these command to kill your PID. So sudo kill -9 is a forceful command to uh, kill your particular server running or any other kind of uh, libraries running in your WSL or in your Linux system. So -9 will be used mostly when you are forcefully doing something. On so if you have done your system command course, you might have understood about grep and awk. So these are the command which you can use as well to stop them. I would suggest don't use kill command if this command is working. Okay, so don't go ahead too much into kill and all. Kill is a bad thing. Now you can also use Docker. If you are using Docker, you can use this command to uh, kill your particular Redis server. So these are the commands which you can use. Pkill also is a command. Okay. So this is what you have now. Now let's come back to the main part. What is there? Okay. You have already tried Redis CLI ping pong returns that. One more thing, because you might need to see that some data is there in your database, and you might be so because you are mostly familiar with GUI, you can use something called Redis Insight. When you go to this particular link, you can download it. For free. You might have to fill some details. Go ahead and fill that and try to install Redis Insight. Link is given here, and yeah, so these are the things which they might ask you. Go ahead and install it so that it will be easier for you to see the things. Okay. After doing these things, downloading, install, run Redis Insight, and then you have to do something as you have to set the host as localhost or 127.0.0.1, and the port number, as you already know, this should be your port number 6379. Okay, this is your port number. Now you can see your details. Whatever will be stored in your Redis cache will be seen in the Redis Insight app. I have already installed, I guess, few years ago. Hope it works right now. So if you click on Redis Insight, this is the Redis Insight. If you click on that, it should open. And I have already created. So add Redis database, you can add from here. Let's try to see this one. So this is the main page where localhost 6379 will be stored. And here I'll be able to see key value pair. Okay. So yeah, right now there is nothing. So it is just empty. Okay. Uh, Hopefully you have got the time to install. Okay. Uh, I believe you have tried to install it.
So I tried it inside earlier, but sir, the thing is that the firewall had to be, the Windows firewall had to be compromised. So the system became slow, and then I had to uninstall it. So I didn't reinstall it again.
Okay. My system is still working. And so it might be. Yeah. So I rarely use it, but it is working fine. Others can also try if you want to see it in the GUI format. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead. So, as I said, we will talk about two things. First one, cached, and then memoirs. So let's try to understand this a little bit about in theory, and then we'll talk about in practical. So it basically does what it does is it will store the entire HTML response or whatever response you are sending using a return statement. Will store that particular thing, and it is mostly perfect if you are storing everything in one go. So let's say if it is a static website, everything is in one particular result, and you can use it to so you can use cached to store that particular result. This is very common to use something like that. And it will return the entire page whenever it is refreshed. Okay, so something like Wikipedia or something like that. Right? So it will be staying the same whenever you will be refreshing. Okay, there is something called key prefix as well. Uh, so let's say if you use cached and you use it in a route, I believe this kind of route, you can also use it like this. So without using key prefix, it creates a key itself. Okay, it will create a key itself. It might name it a view or something, right? So slash view and something like that. And it can be a possibility you might not know what is the name of that particular key. So what you can do is you can name that key. So key prefix is something like that. So the prefix home page will be there in your key whenever it is stored in particularly your Redis insight or Redis database. Okay, so it is a key which you are giving the name of that particular key. Okay, if you don't give key prefix, it will save it in any name. So view and then something like that. Let's do one thing. Let's try to run it. Okay, so till this point you have understood what is cached, and yeah, we'll talk about that, how it works. Okay, so first line is in this. So I have created app.py. App.py is also there in this particular section, so you can go ahead and copy that. Week 11. Okay, so you can go ahead and copy that. Okay, first line, it is about Flask. You can install Flask, and then after that you are using Flask caching. From Flask caching you are also using cache, capital C. Okay, this is the only requirement which you need to to have. Okay, now same thing, I'll be creating a variable called app Flask name, and then after that I'll be doing a configuration. Okay, because these are the things which might need a dictionary kind of formatting. I'm using from mapping, and then after that I am using a bracket, small bracket, and then curly brace, so that it will be easier to see. Okay, other manner would be app.config and then big bracket, and then you write cache type, and then after that equal to, and then Redis cache, something like that. So there will be multiple lines. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 line would be there. You can create one by one the configuration, or also you can just do a mapping and then directly use it. So what needs to be take care of? First one, what is your cache type? Because you are configuring it to class caching, what should be your cache type? There are few. One could be simple cache. One is Redis cache. You can watch the lecture and see what is simple cache. So Redis cache is one of the thing. The other one is in which host you would be using this cache. So as you already know, local host or 127.0.01 or Redis port. So cache Redis port would be, yeah, this is the default one. So 6379. Because I am using this database, it can be a possibility that I can use this port as a compartment. So compartment can take multiple components. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, anything, and as much as your port allows or RAM allows, you can use that compartment to store multiple things. So let's say I'm having a mail to store, I will be using 0th compartment. And then after that, I have to store some HTML page. So I'll be using a first compartment and then second or something. Okay. So hope it is clear. I'm using my compartment number 0th. That is how you'll be calling it in terms of code. You have to write cache redis db. Okay, so this is your database. So 0th database you have. You can also change it to 1 or 2 or any. Okay, so I'll be using 0. Okay. If you don't like to use multiple times same thing, you can just directly, so for these 3 lines, you can directly use this one. Okay, Redis, cache Redis URL, and then you'll be giving Redis localhost this one, and here it will be changing 0. Okay, so if you don't give these three, you can directly give this. Let's comment it. I'm giving a default timeout to 60. So 60 second. Do you think this is a 60 second or no? A 60 minute? Any
Second,
guesses?
60 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So let's see if it is a 60 second or not. We'll see whenever we'll be run. Okay. The other command which I'm giving is cache key prefix. Why I'm giving? Because what we can do is either we can give some key prefix directly in our route, or I can say make it default. It should stay like this for all the routes. So you can use cache key prefix here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see. I've commented this. We'll check this afterwards. So this is, so just like you are creating a app class name, just like you have done for DB, SQL Alchemy, just like you have done for API, class RESTful API. And here also you have to define a variable called cache, because you have to connect this particular cache with app variable. You have to write inside this. Okay. So this is how it will be done. So you have initiated your caching, and it is a by configuration it is a Redis cache. Okay. So we'll come to this line. We'll see what do we mean by this class cache view and all. We'll see. Okay. This is one of the route. This is a simple route. So I have written @app dot route and then slash home, and then after that I have written cache dot cached and then timeout equal to 9. That means it this particular cache caches this particular function, not the route here, right? So it is not caching this route only; it is caching everything returning from this particular function. Okay, so this should be clear. Okay, in this function, I have written home, and then after that, I am using time library to make it sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, I'll be giving 5 second time to make it sleep and then return something. So return it will be returning the time. Okay, home generated at this time. Okay, so I have written this code app.run, so it should run for me. I'll be creating a new, yeah, creating new Ubuntu. Can anyone tell me, will this work? I've written Python app.py. Will this command work? Has anyone tried in WSL?
So it's Python 3.
Yeah. So our app is running. So these routes are working. Now, if I want to go to this particular slash home, so let's try that. Let's follow this link and then slash home. So you can see, right? So it takes a little time. It took a little time, right? So have you seen it? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I refresh now, it should not take any time, and the result remain the same. So I've asked someone, all of you, what is the timeout? So this is 90 written over here, and by default it is 60. So if I refresh it for many times, it is going to this particular terminal, but it is not checking from this particular return statement. It is not even checking that. It is just giving you the result which is stored in your RAM, typically Redis. So if I go here, hopefully this is what I have. If I refresh this, is this the correct one? Databases. Uh, PB is 0 only. Yeah, okay. So you can see, right? So here we have something called flask as view slash and there is nothing and then double slash and then there is home. So if I refresh this, okay, I don't want to refresh that. Okay, nice. I'll come back here. Okay, I was refreshing at the wrong place. So see, it will take time. Okay, and this should change. It changed, right? Now, if I go and check in my Redis and refresh this, so you can see 1 minute is left. If I refresh again for a few times, hopefully, because it was 90 seconds, so it will take time to uh, change from 1 minute to something else. Uh, yeah, okay. So you see, right? So if it is whenever I'm refreshing, the time is uh, going from here, right? So it will stay till few seconds more, right? Why? Because I have set a timeout of 90 seconds. Okay. So it will store the data in the RAM for these many seconds now. So 27 seconds, it is storing that. You might not be able to understand this particularly. Sometimes it will return some has formatting. Right now, it is very minimal code. That's why you are able to read it. Home generated at this thing, but it won't be possible for you to read every time. So it is a unique code format story. Okay. So let's go back. You can see flask cas view slash home. So it's the full format. So here I have written something called flask cas view and the URL. So this is what it takes. Okay, the URL is what? Anyone can tell? Not interested in telling?
So URL for what, sir?
This route. So
Slash home.
yeah. So this is what it is storing slash home and before that flask cas and then view and then slash home. So because the URL is slash home, it is storing like that. So this is your key, what it will be storing because we are using Redis cas and flask cas. Okay. Now, if I change, if I give key prefix equal to uh, home page or some other thing, maybe nice page. Okay. Let me name it capital. So now what do you think will be written in the key here? What should be written in this key?
Nice page view slash home.
Okay, let's try to see that. I'll refresh this. It will take 5 seconds. Oh, okay. It is not running. Let's go ahead.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
The key prefix we have written. Have you understood? You can give a key prefix. Now let's try this also. So if I remove this for now and use this, now what do you think will happen? How it will store the result? What will be the key? Here I have written an empty string. What should be the key now? Anyone?
So like it was before, I think.
Uh, Sorry,
So like double slash
can you come
home,
again? What?
double slash home, same like it was before, right?
Double slash. Okay, so I am using a empty string here. So you're saying it will store as a key, whatever it was earlier. Let's refresh this page. It will take 5 seconds. Uh, and then let's see here. So refresh. So this is like this. Is it this thing what you have said or something else?
No, sir. Last previously it was some Flask cache view or something, right? Double slash home.
Hmm. This class, but now it is not. So I've given an empty one. So let's see and write something here. So I'll write uh, again nice. I'll be writing nice app dash underscore. Now let's see what it returns. So I'll refresh this. It takes 5 seconds because 90 seconds have already been lost. And if I check it here, so now it is adding in the front side, so not the back side. It is using view home, but whenever I'm saying key prefix cache in the configuration, it is adding from the starting. So Flask cache, if you have to write from here, then you have to write here in this configuration. Have you got it? And if I want to write maybe so, if I key prefix here and refresh this, and this here also. So this is what it gives. Okay. Uh, so I have written this nice app. It is using that, but yeah. So it is just using this nice. If I use this, let's see how much characters it takes. The first one was it was storing the previous detail. It says nice one.
So ideally it has to be nice app
Let's wait
underscore
for
nice page, right?
uh, because I am using both here. It should remove this view. That is yes, correct. But it takes few only. So there is a limit it takes as a name. But yeah, so if you give capital P, it won't take it. So this is what the convention it follows. It whenever I'm giving both the places key prefix, it will ignore this view. This is what the ideal scenario is. Yeah, so this it takes. So it won't allow you to use a capital P in your name whenever you are using key prefix here. while using configuration key prefix. Okay, so you can use both of them, but name will be like that. So nice app and then the key prefix which you have written. If you only are using this one, so it will take this and the URL. And if you are using only this key prefix, it will use this and ignore the URL part. So hopefully you have understood. Yeah, I would ask you all to check it. Uh, not uh, somebody has said right, it is not working correctly. The Redis inside. Other than her, other people can try it. How it is. So how it shows them. Three ways I've just shown you. Four ways I would say. First one, without doing anything, it will show you Flask cache, view, and the URL. The other one is using key prefix. So let's do it again. Uh, Remove this. So if you just use key prefix, it will just this. It will show you this result. So without view, so nice page and Flask cache. The other ways, if you remove this and only use this, it will write nice app. And if you are using both of them, it will use nice app and then key prefix this one. Okay, try out all four ways and try to understand. Any questions till now? So till now we have talked about in this code how the configuration would be set up and then how you'll be using cached and the timeout. Timeout would be in seconds and key prefix you can use. So either in the configuration and the the argument also. So different behavior how key prefix works. One thing we have not checked yet, I'll just remove it for now. That if I don't use timeout here, how much time it will store. So I use this 50 here. So what is your assumption? Was it's taking seconds or minutes or milliseconds?
Seconds only, sir.
Okay. So if I refresh this and in 5 seconds, let's go back. Yeah. So yeah. So seconds like that. And if I don't use this default timer and wait for it to complete first, because I've said that 50 seconds, you have to wait for 50 seconds. And then after that, so even though it is calling for this particular URL, it is not directly getting from return statement. It is just a cache data which is it is showing. Okay. Okay, so 5 seconds. I have not given a time. Okay, I have not given time here anywhere, but it is taking by default just 4 to 5 minutes. I'm not sure how much, but yeah, it is taking some time. For 5 minutes, I guess it takes. Yeah, 5 minutes, I believe it takes. 300 seconds, something. Okay, so even though if you don't set up the time, it will take 5 minutes. Okay. So now I have talked about cached, uh, but there is something else as well that is called memoize. As I said, whenever we have some more argument or some parameters in our URL, we can use that whenever we are storing the data. We can use memo as whenever we are storing some kind of data like that. So square and then we are giving a number. So that means I want to have some data which is stored using this number. So let's say number is one. I'll be storing a key maybe one, and then after that, for that I'll be using a table kind of memo where I'm storing some details. So memo kind of detail will be stored. I'm using 90 seconds here. We'll check it how it works. I'm also taking a 2 minutes sleep and then returning some data. So let's go ahead and see uh, this URL how it works. So I'll be writing square slash any number you can suggest me. What number should I do? It will just give you a square of that number.
4.
4. So I will just hit this, and because it take 2 seconds to come out of sleep, and then it will be showing this result. If I go to Redis inside, so let's see how it stores the data. I refresh this. Uh, you can see, right? So this is what it stores, and this is what you can see here. Hopefully, yeah, where is there? So this will be stored. This is a table kind of thing it is storing to understand what is going on, and this is the function. So let's do one more hit in this URL. I'll be now be using 3 and enter. Takes 2 seconds, and when I refresh, so second one comes. I'll just go ahead and see that. Yeah, so 3 9. I will hit one more so that it will be clearer. 7 maybe. Enter. Yeah. So if I refresh this, so now you can see this is one function which is it stores. The function is square and then whatever it gives. And then after that, 1 2 3, the details of this particular square function which is it is storing in a format of key value pair it takes. Okay, so it is a hash formatting, it won't be changed. uh, do you think I can use key prefix in this, in the this particular place, just like I have used here in cast? Do you think will I be able to do that? Anyone? Just guess maybe. Should we give key prefix here by understanding this logic where I'm saying I'll be storing the details in multiple uh, memo kind of environment where I am having one detail for one particular uh, parameter or argument.
So to
Should we?
identify that which endpoint is getting cached and where it is getting cached, I think it makes sense to give prefix, right?
Okay. So if I give key prefix here, this is what I should give. Maybe spare or what? What should I write here?
Yes, sir.
Spare. So that means
With
for
arguments maybe.
arguments. How?
Underscore in something like that, just to differentiate which input
But
parameter
this
that.
is this a URL or just a key prefix?
It is just a key prefix.
Comes before the URL, right?
Th- yeah, that is okay, but do can we do that? Because you have multiple argument coming here or parameter coming here, but can we assume that what will be coming? How will you know what will come, and how will you write it down? Is it possible? Even though let's say you only use square, let's say if the parameter or argument comes here as num as 4, how will you identify that?
So it will be seen as flask underscore cache underscore square, then key prefix, and then the route, right?
Yeah, so it basically, even though if you give key prefix, where it will be. So here you are saying class, view, and then home. Here now it changes to square maybe, but how it will still be storing this hash as well, right? So it will be flask hash square, then hash. Uh, Basically, all of them will become same only flask hash square and then hash, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So will it be possible for us to use key prefix here?
Maybe
Because
not
if
so. So, but
yeah,
but if we are going to use a if we are going to cache some other endpoint also, then that in that case we can identify like, okay, this whatever hash, whatever this can identify that this is for this route and this is for this route.
so so you're saying if I create a new uh, not square but what should I make? Sum sum and then uh, so I'm just creating an random thing. Okay, so you're saying now I should write sum here to make it clearer.
Yes, sir.
uh, okay, so uh, let's see the terminal. Line number, yeah, last one. So type error, something like this.
Sir, instead of sum, like if we put num, because num is the input parameter we are passing here, right?
So this,
So like formatting string. So here in the function, sum num is the parameter that we are getting, right? So yeah.
yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. See the code, you can see the type error is coming because memoize doesn't know what is key prefix. So the basic idea is uh, you are giving me data or detail, I will store it. I know what function I am having conversation with. I'll be storing that. I will be storing in a hashed format. I will be giving you the detail whenever you want. Fine. But I won't take key prefix or something. This is what memoize will say. So it will take a function name square. Yeah, obviously, yes. So this one. But yeah, so the detail what it will be storing, because you don't know, right? It is a dynamic content being shared. So num is a dynamic. You don't know exactly what will come. So it will store that in a hashed format, typically, mostly, right? So key prefix is not there itself in memory. Okay. One more thing. Can we do something here? If I change it, now will it work? If I run the app, I have added in the configuration. Now, if I run the app, will the app work, or it still be giving me type error?
Sir, I think
I,
here it will work if we, yeah.
yes, sir, it would work, I think.
Okay, it is working. Nice. But let's try to go to this URL, and yeah, let's keep it as 7. It takes 2 seconds. It gives you the result. Let's go to Redis inside and refresh this. Uh, okay, it is gone. Oh, 9 seconds, 90. Let's go ahead again. Refresh this. Yeah, we have got the result. So now something has happened, but not really in our this memo is right. So it takes the key prefix, what is by default, but it is a name now. This particular app of CAS will take the name called nice app, but I'll be storing only in the hash format, and I'll be storing your function name as well. That's fine. So this is what you can say. A memo started here, and then inside that memo, one by one, I'm keep on adding the details. So if I go for 6, takes 2 seconds, and then if I refresh this, my memo has updated. A new data entry had been done. A second. Yeah. So this is what we okay. So something like that. We'll try this function also. So it works. So how it looks if I use sum and then run this. Yeah. So sum and then whatever. So because 90 seconds has happened. So use that. Okay. So any questions? Right?
So the TTL value is, what was the value when you opened the memo? 63. Okay. So, but how is it being set? Like it's auto setting it, is it?
Yes, it is okay.
Okay.
So can you see this?
Okay, so it's being basically it's the counter going down only, is it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, TTL is mostly so new day people might know. Talk to you later, something like that. So it is behavior is similar. Talk to you later kind of thing. So yeah. So it is just the counter which is taking the seconds. It has some meaning. I don't remember the exact. But
So it's time to leave, I think.
it's time to leave. Should we leave?
Yes,
No.
sir, it's time to leave.
9:44 it is. Oh, oh, okay. Time. Yeah, TTL means time. I thought you guys are saying time to leave. Done with the session. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have. Two things: cast and then members. Two things. Now, uh, let's assume there is a situation where you have to clear your cache. You don't need much of your data, so you can do one thing. Just a straightforward line we can use cache dot clear. So it will clear everything. So let's maybe try it out. So first we'll go to this 1 and refresh this. It takes 2 seconds. I will also change maybe so 5, and then it takes 2 seconds. We'll again do 4. It takes 2 seconds, and let's see the Redis here. So these are the things available. If I do, if, yeah, so this is, you can see, refresh it again maybe. Yeah, so let's faster. If I do this, the URL is called clear cache. So it will call this line number 46, clear cache, and enter. It says this. Let's refresh this and done. So it removes that. You know? So have you got it? What I said? So whatever will be there, it will be clearing everything using cache.clear. Hopefully, you understand.
I have a small question to ask you on this.
Yeah.
I use this in this application which we developed for a Mac 2. In real
Hmm.
applications, I don't. I'm yet to feel the difference between cache and no clear the cache. How do I? I mean, this is
Difference between.
no. This as a. I mean, as a play checking and things like that. Specifically on a API, we can probably set this and then see the difference because we are introducing a time delay and then all those things, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
In a real application, when I put that Redis is used, I mean, I
Hmm.
kept a flag with off. I mean, but then from the general UI, from the admin console, when I refresh and then pick up the resolutions and things like that, I don't see any difference. How do I make it perceptible difference? Just to show
And
that with the cache it is different and without a
yeah.
cache.
So what happens in modern day browser? You mostly have multiple storage sections, right? So you store your data sometimes in session storage. There are
Yeah.
local storage and all. So everything is
Basically, everybody has their own caching check,
yeah. So they are storing detail itself. So it
Wow.
won't be visible directly.
That's
Also, when you work with View CLI as well, so View CLI itself has its own mechanism. So it
right.
stores some data.
So
So
my question is, during the Viva, if I want to show that yeah, there is an effect that Redis is working, unless, I mean, I can do ping pong and that's the minor thing.
hmm,
Show that yeah, my usage of a Redis is reduced. I mean, does make it unless I probably have a 1 lakh of a record in the background, things like that, which is obviously not possible for a demonstration
yeah.
purpose.
So that's the thing. So you can use Redis inside to so that I have a working code. You can
I
just
have to do the ping pong and things like that. No, that's okay.
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check because these are all the advanced areas when we use
Yeah,
optimization.
yeah, yeah. So it is not. I won't. So we won't ask you to show it only in the this browser only. It is okay. So because
I see.
these are the things which many people use in their website. That's why this is in the
Yeah, I
context. So
know,
you
I
can,
know. We are
yeah,
not the only one to probably come with that. Everybody is caching
yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
That's true. Okay, good. I just
So,
thinking
but
I should take
we can always,
oh,
but we can always show it like if our say if our admin dashboard is being cached, and we
hmm.
have to reflect some value, some edit some value, and then show it to the proctor.
no, no.
Because see,
That
one thing
so
is
in
that
that case, the change will take time to reflect in the dashboard, right? Because
No, it doesn't.
whatever timeout, whatever you have set, that will take time for it to get reflected, right?
No, it does
yeah.
not. It's not perceptibly different. When I remove the cache and thing,
So
it's
Because
one
I was
thing.
able to, yeah, I was able to do that to check if I have done it.
what was the
I did that and
what was the data size?
very less, eight rows of data. That's it.
Wow. Then it is
And 60 seconds or something like that I had set,
Right.
60 or
So
120 seconds or something.
I'll have 5,000 rows of data. Still, I'm not able to see the difference.
yeah.
Of course, it's a local drive. It's not in any way kept in a remote. That is also the
Yeah,
thing.
so see, two things are there. Whenever you are working with some page that is totally dynamic, I would say if you are talking about single page applications,
Hmm.
uh, your database can work like a caching mechanism. So you have a dashboard for admin, you will show that data, whatever is there in the database, you will call for it because that data is stored somewhere. Let's say if you are storing in local storage also, it works like a caching mechanism as well.
Yeah, you're right. I think
Let's say if you don't use for local storage, you can show it to the proctor that I'm not storing anywhere in my local storage or certain storage. You can
walking through the code
see
is
it
different. No,
takes few seconds and then it is removing.
I
So
agree.
something like that.
Walking through the code, they will understand. But what I'm saying is, as an impact on the end user's perception.
It won't be because so if you are working with CLI, it won't show anything.
Yeah.
It is like that. It won't be.
And how do I
Okay.
demonstrate that beat and worker is working?
Yeah, you have. So are you using any SMTP server, mail, something like that?
No, I mean I define some rule and then say if the car has not been picked up in 48 hours, send an email.
Hmm. So
Those,
you're sending a mail, right?
yeah, it's there. It's yeah, the mail will come.
Okay. So for mail, you can use one thing. So if you are using Beat, so you can use cron tab where you can set the time for, let's say, right now it is
That also I kept it
9:51.
as optional. That also through admin you can instruct on when do you want to send it. That's okay.
Yeah, two things. So there are one which you do it triggered job. When you click a button, that is one thing. The
Yeah,
other thing is when you set a time, you
correct.
have to set the time, hour, minute, or day,
Mhm.
and then it sends at that time. So let's say right now it is 9:51. I want to send the mail at maybe 10.
Mhm.
So it will set the time and it will send it at that particular
No,
moment, 10
I'll
p.m.
check. Now, anyway, the submission is over, so I can at least tell you the technique which I use. It's not going to
Okay.
be sick. What I did was instead of every second, every minute, if I didn't want to scan entire database.
Hmm.
So what I did was once an hour, those valid for the next 1 hour will be picked up and kept in a small database.
Hmm.
So every minute I will scan through those and then whatever is the time that the user has preferred, if it matches, then you send it. So there is a worker who comes on every minute, and the beat
Hmm.
comes once an hour.
Okay, that is also valid. That's fine. So
Yeah, I mean,
you can use contab as well if you want. You
so
can set a time and then you can send
that,
it that
that I kept
every
for
day.
monthly reviews. I kept it as a contact.
Monthly. Yes, monthly can be a good idea.
I
Yeah.
think that we kept it all, but then I wanted to show. So I thought I will probably check whether this Redis also can be shown. So
Yeah. So
unless, unless it
because
was,
it everything. So because the page was dynamic,
Mhm.
uh, you have to store the data in your local storage and all. So it won't be visible directly to the end user. So that is that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So last thing, it is about delete. There is one more operation where you can delete something. So you have cache.clear, it clears everything, but you can delete as well. But for that, you need to have the knowledge about the key. So you should know the key, then only you'll be able to delete that particular key uh, from your Redis cache database. Okay. Uh,
Sir, for memo is function like we will not have any key, right? So in that case,
yes, there
go
is no
go with only clear all.
clear all. Yeah. Because it stores the function detail and then after that the memos it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 something like that. So we have to only use clear also that it can clear.
Okay, sir. Is there a way to get all the keys currently stored in Redis, something like that?
Not sure. You can check maybe.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think there is. Clear all.
sure.
Only this one. Okay. So that's it. Whatever I wanted to cover, this is it for Redis caching. And this will be enough for you to add it to your project and then show it or demonstrate it in the uh, bio. Any questions? Anyone has any question? Which we can. I would advise you all to at least go ahead and try out these functions. Oh, so that's it. Then I will close Redis inside. Yeah, so I'll just show you how I have created. So you can go to this add Redis database, and then okay, it has changed. Add Redis database. Okay, they have changed the um, why there are no more options. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so here you can give your database alias, and then after that host, because this is the local host only. You can use that port number, and yeah, so these are the things which you can use, and then from here I will be giving the index. So 0th index, first, second, the compartment which I said to you in the first part of the this particular session. Okay, so this is how you can just create, add a Redis database, and it will create that. We'll just create 7 maybe. Yeah, so it creates this. Okay, the recent. Okay, so this is what we have. That's it for today. Yeah, try out by yourself and see if you can do it or not. I'll start
Thank you,
showing
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kishore.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night.